Hello everyone and welcome. We are at Brands Hatch for round 7 of the URL-GT3 Championship. Let's have a look at the qualifying results. Mikko Korkiakoski took a pole in his Mosler once again with a 126.923, and that's only 50 thousandths of a second in front of Peter Backus. Miguel Santiago Carao had his best qualifying effort of the season. Rohan Joubert and Florian Kutz made up the top 5. Looking a bit further down the grid, it's Fabio Bartolai taking the AM Cup qualifying pole, with Manlio Liguori, Dubravko Brezančić and Sando Donadel behind him. Alex Scott and Sten Mikkel Olsen didn't set a time, but they are always quite quick, so we will have to see how they go up the field. So the start of the race in overcast conditions. Mikko Korkiakoski gets away well off the line, and we see Florian Kutz's green Porsche taking P4 from Rohan Joubert in the back. Everyone keeps it clean through the first turn here. Very difficult. Little bump there, it's Alex Funnel going off the road. And this was Sten Mikkel Olsen's start. We see Alex Scott also, but Sten Mikkel Olsen picking up 1, 2, 3, maybe even 4 positions at the start. So a very nice start from him. Here is Dubravko Brezančić now in front of him. He's side by side with Sando Donadel, the 100 Ferrari 458. Some drama there for Nicola Simic and Fabio Bartolai, who end up in the gravel. So a very nice start for Sten Mikkel Olsen up to 12th. Rohan Joubert, as I said, lost his 4th position to Florian Kutz, but he's not giving up. This is the end of the first lap, and he's clearly a lot more confident in the car at this early stage of the race. Craig Metcalfe is also not too far behind, and Rohan goes around the outside onto the main straight. So Craig Metcalfe in 6th, Michal Klisch, Reinhard Berger, Manlio Liguori, Dubravko Brezančić, Sten Mikkel Olsen in 11th, Alex Funnel, Alex Scott, the teammates, Jovica Tudukovic here with Nikola Simic. A close call here in the first corner, but Jovica keeps it in front. Then it's Sando Donadel, Mike Greatrix in 17th, and Fabio Bartolai, as I said, he was in the gravel, and we see a small problem there for Jovica. He loses that position also to Mike. So a bit of drama here in the first laps, and as I said, Fabio Bartolai, problem in the first lap, ended up in the gravel, and our pole sitter Mikko Korkiakoski followed by Peter Backus in 2nd, and then behind in the black car Miguel Santiago Carao. Now Reinhard Berger here, looking back from Michal Klisch. Reinhard Berger really wants that 7th position. It's right up the tail of Michal Klisch, but he doesn't seem to have the straight line speed to get alongside him, so he has to slot in behind. Goes for the undercut here, the over-under, but there's no space. It's a very technical circuit, and if you pick your lines well, it's, let's not say easy, but it's comfortable to defend here. Reinhard has a small look, but will not attempt. So down the back straight, coming up to the last corner, Michal Klisch keeps it in front for now. But here he makes a mistake, goes onto the grass, and Berger is just able to go through. Now looking back from P3, Miguel Santiago Carao, Rohan Joubert closed down the gap after passing Florian Kutz, but Miguel goes off, and that's Rohan Joubert up to P3. And here it's Miguel not giving up either, still keeping close to Rohan Joubert So let's see if he can make a move here. Florian Kuts will not be very far behind, and a mistake, a spin from Santiago Carao. We see Florian Kuts driving by, so down to P5. Stemikel also now up to 11th from his last position start, just behind Nikola Simic. And that's Manuel Liguori. He had a small off in the last turn, ended up in the gravel, lost some speed on the straight, so can still make a move. He goes to the inside, but he has to still make the braking. It seemed like Fabio had him covered, but braked a bit too late and left the door wide open. So P10 for Stemikel Olsen. Manuel Liguori is now here, behind these two. And Alex Scott also joining the fun. One lap later, Manuel Liguori, Nikola Simic and Stemikel Olsen just in front of him. Here we see them flashing by. Alex Scott also had a good start. Sandro Donadel is coming into the pits already. That's quite early. And Alex takes the position from Mando by going up the inside. So Steen and Alex Scott making some good ground here in the opening laps. And Nikola Simic comes into the pits. Miguel Santiago Carao closed the gap down to P5 Florian Kuts by the end of the first stint, and Florian pits first. Alex Funnel and Mike Greatrix here. That's just after the pits. They will have a stint-long battle for P11, P12. Alex Funnel thinks about going around the outside, but he has to slot in behind. As I said, this is what we saw Berger and Klisch doing. And Greatrix is going a bit wide, and Alex Funnel is able to take the position. P11. So Florian Kuts, he came out 4 seconds in front of Miguel, built that gap to 4 or 5 seconds, but now Santiago Carao has closed up on him. Also have to mention that we lost Peter Bacchus due to a connection problem, unfortunately, so Rion Joubert is up to P2 and Mikko Korkiakoski is still in P1. This battle is heating up. Miguel is now less than half a second behind Florian, and he will want to make the pass for a podium finish, which has been a long time for him. When a slide hits the inside barrier, so that's over and out for the podium for Miguel Santiago Carao. Here is Reinhardt now, coming up to Miguel with no front splitter, so no front downforce. He will be very slow through these corners, but of course Reinhardt doesn't know that. And he has to take avoiding action not to hit Miguel off. Craig Metcalf, his teammate in 6th, is behind Reinhard Berger, and due to this small mistake he closed him down. So we see Mike Greatrix and Alex Funnel recovering here from a small spin and completely wrecking Mike's car. Here we see Funnel letting Mike have the position, of course, but let's see how this affects Mike's and Alex's driving abilities. Cars will be severely damaged, I'm sure. And if I saw that correctly, I think it's the leader, Mikko Korkiakoski, coming up behind these two guys, so they will also have to pay attention to him and let him pass in a safe way. It seems the straight line speed of these two guys is not really impacted, but the aero grip here through this paddock hill bend is noticeably worse, and as I predicted, Mikko Korkiakoski now weaving his way through these two drivers. And Alex Funnel really close to Mike Greatrix. Will he go up the inside here? It's possible with the changing radius of the turn. And yeah, my Great Prix loses the position, so he clearly is suffering from that big hit that he took. I'm sure that it will not feel good to drive the car like this, but there's not much left in this race. Miguel Santiago Carao now finally has to let Reinhard Berger and Greg Metcalf past, so he loses 2 other positions, and he also has to let Mikko Korkiakoski by. So Miguel fell from P4 to P7 in the end. And this is Mikko on his last lap, so just being lapped, Santiago Carao, and a very dominant win by Mikko Korkiakoski. Unfortunately helped a bit by the fact that we lost Peter Bacchus, who was about 2 or 2.5 seconds behind him when we lost him, so he would have been able to put a bit of pressure on him. So good win for Mikko, who builds his lead. Rohan Joubert, as I said before, is in P2. Florian Kutz will finish the race in P3, Reinhard Berger in 4, Greg Metcalf in 5th, we saw that. Alex Scott made it up to P6, Miguel Santiago Carao P6, Sten Mikkel Olsen, Michal Klisch, Nikola Simic, Alex Funnel in 11, then my Great Critics, we saw that battle as well. Jovica Dudukovic, Fabio Bartolai taking the AM Cup win, Sando Donadel, Dubravko Brezančić, and Manlio Liguori. So that's it for this race. Here are the results. Olivier Duplessis unfortunately didn't get to the start of the race, so very tight and good racing. Next week we'll go to Red Bull Ring in Austria, so I all invite you to either join us or watch this rebroadcast highlights. See you next week.